Have you read any good books since the pandemic? Hi, this is Coach Jim Johnson, and you know I love reading. I read a lot of leadership and success books. And so I want to share my baker's dozens of the books that I've been reading through the pandemic since March. And I'm going to go through each book and just share just a very brief ideas about each of the books. The first book is called Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and his partner Leif Babin. And this is a great book about Navy SEALs, and it gives you wonderful leadership ideas. The second book is called $1 Trillion Coach, which is about the late great executive coach Bill Campbell, written by some people he worked with at Google, and boy, it's got some great leadership ideas. I highly recommend that you get that book. I got a lot out of it. The third book touched my heart and soul deeply. It's called Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. He talks about the issues with the criminal justice system. Going back to leadership, The Motive by one of my favorite leadership authors, Patrick Lencioni, is a wonderful read, and you must read it. The fifth book is a baseball book that I never read called Moneyball by Michael Lewis. Fascinating read. I highly recommend it. Going back to leadership, The Vision-Driven Leader by Michael Hyatt is a wonderful book to get clarity about the importance of mission and vision. Next one, because I always talk about dreaming big, is called Dream Big by Bob Goff, and I actually called Bob. He's a wonderful person and gave me some nice tips in that book. Next one is another leadership book called The Captain Class by Sam Walker, where he studied captains of various athletic teams. Very powerful. Next one, since I'm a tennis player, I had to read The Inner Game of Tennis by Tim Gallwey. Wonderful book on the psychology of not just tennis, but helping your mind. Speaking of mind, the 10th book is called Mindset by Carol Dweck. I actually read it for a second time. Very powerful book. Number 11 is A Good to Great by Jim Collins, one of the best leadership books I've ever read it for a second time. Next one is a book I read for the second time called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. Great book to get you started on doing the right things. And then going again to one of my favorite leadership authors, a book that I've read a couple times called The Ideal Team Player by Patrick Lencioni. Great ideas on how you can get the right people on your team. So what are you reading? I think reading is the avenue of personal growth, and you know I'm big into personal growth. So I'd love to hear from you. What are your favorite books that you've read through the pandemic? And let's work together to help each other out through this challenging time. Thank you.